Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Narcissism 101, cracking the code with me, Paul Wisdom. All right, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great morning so far. Before we get into what we're going to talk about today, if you want a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need more advice, if you're trying to figure out whether the person you're dealing with is a narcissist or not, please feel free to reach out. If you want to call, just send a text to that number and just let me know that it's you, just so that I know who I'm speaking with, and then we can get you the help that you need. All right. So, what we're going to be talking about today is when the narcissist's abuse tactics do not work. Yep, we're going to talk about that today. So, when the narcissist's abuse tactics do not work, this is a good thing for you, but it's a terrible thing for the narcissist. And here's why. It's a good thing for you because now that the narcissist's abuse tactics don't work on you anymore, now for you, now it makes it easier for you to let go of them. And it makes it so that now you have figured it out. Because what you're essentially telling the narcissists, plural, what you're telling them when you've figured out, when you've caught on to the abuse, when you no longer tolerate their nonsense, when you don't play their narcissistic games anymore, their mind games, that is, when you're no longer doing that, what you're showing them is that you have figured it out. What you're showing them is that you are no longer going to be taken advantage of. What you are doing is you're in a way, you're standing up for yourself and you're saying, you know what? I'm not going to be abused anymore. I've been abused for too long. I'm not going to let you talk to me like that anymore. I'm not gonna be doing things for you anymore because every time I do something for you, you always gaslight me and you always say that I should do more. Anytime I do something for you, you always move the goalpost and you try to make it seem as though I should do more and more and more. And if I don't do that, then I always get punished. I always get blamed. So when you're no longer, when the narcissist abuse tactics don't work anymore, it's a good thing for you, and in that sense. Now we're gonna switch gears. It's a bad thing for the narcissist though, because the narcissist, what they do is they thrive off of chaos, confusion, and control. I mentioned this in 99% of my videos because it's very true. Narcissists, when they know that their abuse tactics don't work, it takes a different turn for them because they see that all their manipulation and everything that they've always done with you, that it's ineffective now, and they know that they cannot play with you anymore. They know that they can't control you anymore because when they were doing those things to you, like I said, manipulation, gaslighting, stonewalling, giving you the silent treatment, ignoring you and all that different types of stuff, when they were doing all these things to you, they were hoping that you would never figure it out. That's what they were hoping inside their mind, that you would never figure it out. And so when you figured it out, now it's a bad thing for the narcissist because now they have to look elsewhere. Now they have to really make sure that they have somebody in place to replace you so that when they leave you, so that when they discard you, or when they make your life so miserable that you end up discarding them, which is usually very rare. Usually they're the ones that discard you. And in my channel, I always recommend to let them discard you because when you let them discard you, that means that that means that you protect yourself and you take care of yourself and you do the right thing to heal and heal properly. That is if you have to, because everybody's different. Some people need to heal from these things. Other people can just move on, just live their lives like myself. But what I'm saying here, guys, is that the narcissist, when they know that that their tactics don't work on you, things can take a different turn. And I'm going to talk about that right now. What I mean by that is that depending on what narcissist that you are dealing with, it can be very dangerous, or it can be a situation where they just discard you and then they just move on and they find and they have that person lined up and then they move on. So I'm going to get into that. If you're dealing with a covert narcissist, like I was dealing with a covert narcissist, which is my ex-wife, I was dealing with a covert narcissist. It was for me, all she ended up doing was ghosting me for 5 days, and then I got a long text to my phone, and then the rest is history, right? And so she just discarded me just like that. And then now I haven't seen her for 3 years, and she's gone, and she said in her text at the end of it she never wants to see me again, right? And so that's what to expect when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. Also expect when you're dealing with a covert narcissist that they're gonna go around to everybody that you know, and they've been doing this from the get-go. But the thing is, what you have to understand is that although the narcissist has been doing their tactics from the get-go, the difference now when it comes down to the discard, when it comes down to the ending of your relationship or marriage or whatever you want to call it, when it comes down to it, it just becomes more and more and more. It becomes elevated. The abuse becomes a lot more. So when it comes down to them discarding you, and then they move on to another person, aka new supplier, your replacement, the person that they've been cheating on you with, whatever and whatever and what else. When they've done that, guys, what you have to understand is that they had been doing this from the day that they met you. The only difference is that you figured it out. The only difference is that you exposed them and that you said, I'm not going to take their abuse any longer, right? And so now that they've went on to this new person, what they're hoping for is that you don't make it. That's ultimately what they're hoping for. And they're also hoping that you chase after them. They're hoping that you keep texting and calling their phone to look for closure, to say, what did I do wrong? Should I do more? Can we work this out? They want you to do that. And they want you to do that because they know that when you're doing that, they know, one, they're not going to give you any closure, and they know, number two, that they still have you on the hook. And what you're telling the narcissist when you do that is that you still care. And they know, and that's what they want. They want you to still care. They want you to chase after them. Even though they don't care about you, they want you to chase after them, because narcissists want to know that they always have multiple people on the hook. They always have somebody that they can fall back on. But Father Time is ticking, and the narcissist knows that very soon, nobody's going to want anything to do with them, because they burnt so many bridges. Too many people have caught on to it now. People are becoming educated every single day, and they're figuring out that they've been dealing with these people all their entire lives, right? And so when it comes down to it, guys, what you need to understand is that the narcissist, when their abuse tactics don't work anymore. Now, when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, it can go a completely different way than if you're dealing with a covert narcissist. If you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, which is the most dangerous narcissist of them all, expect that they might physically put their hands on you. And when I say physically put their hands on you, I mean that they could physically put their hands on you, beat you up, put you in a headlock, and they could potentially kill you, right? And so this is why when I mentioned in many of my videos, when you're dealing with a narcissist, do not, and I've said this in my videos before, do not tell the narcissist your next move. Do not tell them that you are going to discard them. Do not tell them that you are going to leave them, because if you don't know what narcissist you're dealing with and you're just watching my video for the very first time, and if you are, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you joining us on the channel. If you are dealing with a narcissist and you don't know what narcissist you're dealing with, and you end up calling them out, then you're in you could be in very big trouble, especially if it's a malignant narcissist. They could potentially kill you. They could put you in a headlock and they could kill you, or they could leave and then they could come back and shoot you up and then they could kill you, or they could send somebody to kill you, right? Because malignant narcissists, when they experience narcissistic injuries, and when any narcissist experience a narcissistic injury, meaning that you do something to hurt their ego, like say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore, that's a narcissistic injury. Even when they discard you, that's still a narcissistic injury to them, because narcissists have a fragile ego, and they don't like when people, try to tear down their ego, because narcissists are very self-centered people. They're very much concerned about their image, even though many times they tell you that they don't care what others think. This is something that my ex-wife used to say all the time. I don't care what other people think. I can do whatever I want. And so, but when she said that, it confused me because there are many times where she said, why didn't that person say hi to me? Why is it that when we were with your family, your cousin didn't acknowledge me? They just walked right past me. And then in my head, I'm confused. And then I say, but babe, you said that you don't care about what people think. And then she said, I do, but you don't understand. And I'm just like, but so now I'm confused and I'm trying to figure this out. So what I'm saying, guys, is that narcissists, they very much care about their image, but they want to make it seem as though that the things that you do to them, it doesn't affect them. Because narcissists, they have a high sense of self-entitlement where they believe that they should be able to get everything and everybody should have to tailor to their every need, right? And so when it comes down to it, guys, this is why I say be very, very careful with the narcissist. Like when it comes down to leaving them, that's why I say when the narcissist has left the house, for example, if they've just gone out and they're out looking for your replacement or they're doing whatever they're doing, at that time, what you need to do is you need to get all your stuff and you need to get out as far and as fast as you can. Take as much stuff as you can, take it with you and don't look back, because if you're especially dealing with a malignant narcissist, it can be very, very dangerous, especially if they know that you are leaving, they could potentially look to kill you. Because what you need to understand about narcissists too is that narcissists don't like being alone. They hate being alone. They can't be alone, because if they have to be alone, when you're alone, think about it. When you're alone by yourself, it means that you have to self-reflect. It means that you have to think for a moment, right? But narcissists, they can't do that, see? Because if they do that, that means that they have to think about all the lives that they've destroyed. They have to think about all the people that they've lied to. They have to think about all the people that they're going to lie to. They have to think about all the many relationships that they've destroyed with people, not just your relationship with them, but with other people as well. Because narcissists aren't just dealing with you. They're dealing with many people at any one time. Because again, narcissists cannot be alone. They hate being alone. It scares them when they have to be alone with themselves, because it means that they have to look in the mirror and they have to see that nasty person that they are, that ugly, vindictive, evil person that they are, and they don't like that. They can't have that because they need to know that they are better than everybody else, when that's not the truth. They are not better than everybody else. That's why they copy other people. That's why they always copy what other people do. That's why they want to gather as much information about people as they can. They want to get to know everything about them, where they went to school. They want to know what they did, what they do for a living, how much money they make. They want to know all these things because they want to weaponize it against them at some point in the future. So if, for example, the narcissist wants to know how much money you have, they want to know. If it's gonna help them for the next part of their life. They want to know how much money they can take from you. They want to plan. They have it all planned out, usually, how much money they're going to take from you. And that's usually all the money that you have, guys, because narcissists love money. And in my last video, I talked about that. The fact that narcissists love money more than anything or anyone, because they believe that their money is theirs and they believe that your money is also theirs. Right. And so they believe, and it's again because of their sense of entitlement. Right. And so when the narcissist abuse tactics don't work anymore, you have to really, really be careful. You have to really, really know and understand what's going to happen next. And the other thing I want to put out here, guys, to make you guys understand, is that when the narcissist abuse tactics don't work anymore, what's also going to happen is that what they're going to do is they're going to also make sure that they find a way to isolate you, right? They will look for ways to isolate you. And one way they're going to do that is they're going to, depending on what narcissist you're dealing with, majority of narcissists are going to do this. What they're going to do first, when they find that their abuse tactics aren't working, when they see that that you're catching on, when they see that you're not taking the bait anymore, when they see that when they try to make jokes, those same jokes with you that you guys used to laugh at together, when they see that it's not working with you anymore, what they're going to try to do actually is they're actually going to try and love love bomb you back in. They're going to try and get you to fall for them. They're going to try and say, babe, I love you. Do you want to have sex or something like that? They're going to try and do things like that to try and get you back under control, right? And so when they do that, don't take the bait. Don't let them get to you. Stick to your boundaries. Stick to what's right. Don't let them get to you when they're love bombing you. Because when they love bomb you again, you have to remember, and I said this in one of my previous videos, is that the narcissistic abusive cycle, love bomb, devaluation, and discard, it's always happening. It's always going like that in a circle. It's in fact been going like that since the time that they met you. It was always going like that. The only difference is that it just gets amped up more and more and more. Right? That's the only difference, that each amount of time that they are with you, that you're dealing with them, it's just amped up a little bit more. Right? And so at the end of it, when their abuse tactics aren't working on you anymore, what's going to happen is that, yeah, they're going to love bomb you. And then once they know that they still have you, and they know that, and then what you're essentially telling them is that you're not strong enough yet, is that you're not, and that you can't live without them, because they've trained you, they've groomed you to want to stay stuck with them. Right? And so what's happening there is that they know that you're not going anywhere. Okay. And then once they love bomb you, then they're going to devalue you again by gaslighting you. And they're going to continue smear campaigning you behind your back and saying to everybody that you know that you're crazy, you're mentally unstable, you have health problems, you're gay, or you're bisexual, or you're this or you're that. They lie to people about who you are because they know that you can actually tell the truth about them. That's why they smear campaign people in the first place, guys, because narcissists know that they're liars, and they know that at some point the light is going to be shone on them, and they can't handle that because they live in the dark. They're in the dark of the devil, right? And so what you need to understand is that once their abuse tactics no longer work, depending on what narcissist you're dealing with, it can go many different ways, but you need to make sure that you do the best you can to protect yourself. And that's why when you find out that they're a narcissist, you need to do your due diligence. Get away from them, block their number, get rid of their number. I understand it's not that easy. If you have kids with them, I get it. But I'm going to explain to you something that I thought about if you have kids with the narcissist. What you need to do if you have kids with the narcissist is this. So if you have kids with the narcissist, right? You need what I would suggest you do is you explain to your kids what is going on, first of all, when the narcissist is gone and whatever. Get in touch with your kids, let them know what's going on, and get them to a place of safety first. Make sure that your kids are safe first. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start documenting. You're gonna get a lawyer. Sorry, not document. Get a lawyer. Right? Get a lawyer, invest in a lawyer, get somebody to help you, right? If that's a family member, a close friend, that can help you out a bit with finding a lawyer. Get yourself a lawyer, okay? Find yourself a lawyer. And then once you get yourself a lawyer, then what you're going to do is you're going to start documenting things, right? If they start calling you from fake numbers, if they start showing up in places that in random places that you go, what you're gonna do is you're also you're gonna document it. If they show up at your house, for example, with the kids, and you're with the kids, you're gonna have to document all this stuff. And then once you document all of it, call the police. Let the police know, look, I documented this. This is what I saw. This is what my spouse is doing. They're very dangerous. And then let your lawyer know, and your lawyer will deal with them, and your lawyer through the police, they will work together to make sure that you're protected, right? Because there's nothing worse in dealing with a malignant narcissist who's dangerous and who could potentially destroy you and actually kill you. Because narcissists, they will kill you if they get the chance to. Now, if you're dealing with a covert narcissist, it's not like a malignant narcissist, because covert narcissists, what you need to understand, and I can talk about this because, I've dealt with narcissists all my life, and my ex-wife was a covert narcissist. Covert narcissists, what you need to understand about them is that they don't fight you directly like the malignant narcissist does. They don't put their hands on you unless you have them cornered to the point where they but that's if you're in their face and you have them cornered and they have no choice. They might just slap you or they might just push you, but they're not going to physically attack you and get a gun and kill. They're not going to do that, because coverts, they like to fight under the radar. They like to fight and get other people to fight for them, right? They like to get other people. That's why they enlist flying monkeys to do their bidding for them, to do their work. What's the flying monkey for those who are new to my channel? A flying monkey is somebody who does the narcissist work for them, that when the narcissist tells them to do something, that they will do it for the narcissist. They will make calls for the narcissist. They will say things to you that the narcissist told them to say to you. They will pretty much do anything for the narcissist. They're like the devil's minions, if you will. They will do anything for the narcissist. They will gossip and they will lie. They will lie for the narcissist. They will do anything for the narcissist. But the sad reality is, for these flying monkeys, is that what they don't know is that the narcissist is going to turn on them at some point. Because remember, narcissists are like the devil himself, are pretty much Satan himself. Satan, what he does when he sees what Satan does is he hates human beings. He hates all of us human beings, whether we're evil or not. He hates human beings because we were created by the same God, right? And so because he hates human beings, he knows he's going to he knows he will throw all of us away, right? And even the people that followed him, he will throw them away at some point. Same thing with the narcissist. The narcissist, anybody that's doing work for them, what they don't know is that the narcissist is taking advantage of them, and that the narcissist is going to throw them away at some point as well. But that some point, we don't know when that is. But the narcissist knows when they're going to do that, because narcissists are very calculated as well. They know how much they can take from each person that they get involved with, right? And so this is why it's very important, when you're dealing with the narcissist, that you understand which narcissist that you're dealing with. That way, when the narcissist abuse tactics don't work on you anymore, narcissists, what you have to also understand about covert narcissists is that they like to fight with silent treatment as well. They love passive aggressive behavior. They love the silent treatment, because the silent treatment, when they give you the silent treatment, then they know that at some point in their mind, they think that you're going to crawl back to them and you're going to explain yourself to them. And they love doing that because it gives them a sense of power. It gives them a sense of control, because then they know that they can control you. Then they know inside their mind that you are not going anywhere, right? And so when it comes down to it, also the overt narcissist is almost like, it's exactly like the covert narcissist. The only difference with the overt and the covert is that the overt will yell and scream in your face. They're exactly like the covert. The only difference is that they will yell and scream. They will lose their mind. They will throw things. They will do that, but they won't physically assault you like the malignant. They're in between covert and the malignant, right? They're smack in the middle, right? And so there's not much else to expect from them other than the fact that they can throw things and they'll get angry and irate and all that stuff. But what I'm saying, guys, for this video is you guys need to make sure that you maintain your boundaries, right? Don't let the narcissist get to you, because they will try anything to get to you, whether it's through a flying monkey, whether it's through somebody on social media. They'll use that person's social media to get to you. They will use anything, right? They will even get the cops involved, depending on what narcissist you're dealing with. They will get the authorities involved, and they will probably get you arrested, put in a false allegation against you. But what you need to do, guys, and this is why I said you need to make sure, depending on what narcissist you're dealing with, document everything. Document it down on paper. Write the date, write the time, and then start writing down what's happening so that you can show it to the police, show it to your lawyer, and that they can have it documented to get to the police, and that they can have you protected. Just so that you protect yourself and that you also protect your loved ones. Because what narcissists can also do as well is that they can also use your loved ones as well against you. Especially if they're guys, if they're a malignant narcissist, they will get your loved ones to hate you as well. And coverts do this as well. But malignants, mind you, they're very, very controlling. and what they do, malignant narcissists, is they will actually stalk you. And when I say stalk you, they will follow you around. Now, covert narcissists will do this as well, but not to the same extent as malignants, because malignants want to kill you. They want to physically kill you. Coverts, yes, but not in the same way that malignants do as well, okay? So yeah, guys, so I hope that this video helped you out. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Again, if you want a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com or send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need more advice, I strongly encourage you reach out to me. If you're just finding this video for the first time and you're realizing that your narcissist is going crazy, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to get you the help that you need. Also, remember, I put a link down below to the podcast I spoke on about my narcissistic experience. Please feel free. Please check that out as well. Share this video with somebody who you think could use it, because in what you would be doing is you would be helping someone who doesn't know they need help. And that's what we're here to do on this channel. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here again and joining me here. And I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you.